Welcome back to the Jacked Racing YouTube channel. Welcome back to the old shop. We're doing something a little bit different today. I've got my friends Ricky Rudd and Ricky Bobby here, and we're going to go inside the helmet from my last race at Auburndale Speedway. I've got the race loaded up here straight through from my helmet cam, and I'm going to pick apart my own driving and kind of see, I'm going to go back and learn, watch my flaws, watch what I did well, and hopefully teach myself some things moving forward. So let me know what you guys think of this type of video. I know it's different. I've wanted to make one of these for a while. Let me know if you want me to keep doing these. If you want this to be a one and done, let me know in the comments once you watch through here. So I'm going to fire up the video and we're going to talk through this last race I had. Let's get into it. Alright, rolling around here, getting the one to go. This is always kind of a nervous part since you never quite know what's going to happen on the start. If you're another racer out there, you probably do the same thing where I look at where everyone is and try and figure out what's going to happen on the start, but once the green flag flies, that all goes out the window anyway. So coming around here, trying to just make sure I time it right, watching what's ahead of me to make sure nothing goes down in front of me I need to watch out for. Getting a little loose there. It's hard to start in the middle of the turn. When you're that far back in the lineup, you're in the center of the turn. You can't just floor it like everyone else ahead of you who's already got their wheels pointed straight. So here we go, right in the outside. I got someone underneath me here. I was proud of this. Not often can you get around someone on the outside of this little track, and I was hanging with them a lot better than I thought. Going through here, this is definitely a one groove track at Auburndale. Oh, we got a truck loose down there, looking out for that. Here I got stuck up high. This is where we got in trouble. I got out of the groove and lost them, basically. This track is flat. You lose grip once you get outside. So now I'm all on my own, trying to regroup, see if I can catch back up to these guys, just trying to run my own line, monitor what's going on ahead of me to make sure I'm not going to drive into some trouble. A little loose here, trying to figure out the setup. It's always a little bit of a crapshoot the first couple laps to see where you're going to end up. Kind of just falling in line here. They run 50 lap races here, so I've got plenty of time. I don't need to be in a hurry and get myself into trouble. So just kind of riding around here, keeping an eye on what's going on in front of me, seeing if I can catch up, figuring out my own setup. You can see there I started to kind of develop a loose situation going in, and that's something I end up battling this whole race, which is kind of a weird feeling. But one thing I notice here in my own driving is I can come up off the corners farther. I'm pinching my line coming off the corner here, and that's probably costing me some speed. I think my entry looks okay. I don't think I'm pinching it off too bad going into the turn, but I'm definitely pinching myself coming off. And part of that's probably not thinking about my line as much as what's going on in front of me. It's a whole different thing when I'm out there for practice or qualifying, being able to kind of just, think about myself rather than what else is going on in front of me on the track. Here I'm looking a little bit low, trying to get inside of the 19. Got the spot, I'm gonna try and hold on to it. Couldn't quite hold it. Now here's where I should have slid back up. No, maybe not. No, maybe I should have. So now I'm all clear. I need to get back up, get in line. There we go. I did okay that time. Trying to just hit my marks here and keep up with the field. This kind of felt like my first race at this track in the truck. Even though I have raced there before, this was the first time we didn't have clutch or fuel pressure issues or setup issues. The truck was actually driving pretty well. I say that as I just got super loose and almost lost it right there. But yeah, as far as, having a good competitive truck, this felt like my first race there. So here we go, caution lights on. There's a truck backwards in turn number 3. Give a wave, make sure no one behind me runs into me, and it's time for the restart. Little cautions like that happen quite a bit on these quarter-mile tracks. Stuff happens fast, and sometimes you end up going backwards. It's just part of it. So now we're watching to see what happens going into this restart here. It's always a little dicey that first lap while everyone gets sorted out. Want to make sure you don't get into trouble here. A little bumping and banging up ahead of me. That's typical for a quarter-mile track, though. Just watching to see what happens. See if I need to follow the inside or outside line. Trying not to spin myself out there. I can't tell if anyone's outside of me here or not. I don't remember, honestly, and I can't see in my mirror from the helmet cam. Just riding around trying to see. Yep, think might have a spot there. Nope. Now here again is where I'm seeing that thing where I need to get, I'm pinching myself again. Got loose there, let off the throttle a little bit. It's alright. There is someone in my mirror I can see there. I think I'm clear though, so I could fix my line a little bit in the future, and that's something I definitely need to keep in mind, is not pinching myself off. I think I just same thing. I get too distracted about what's going on in front of me, stop focusing on hitting my line right, and then end up costing myself some speed and the potential to set someone up for a pass a little better. So this is good. This is why we're doing this, because we're going through and we're learning. So stop pinching off the corners, coming out. Going in still doesn't look too bad. I'm not chopping the apex too soon, I don't think. And the line looks good. We're hanging on the 5 here. Try and catch up to him and see if I can't make a move on him at some point. You kind of hear that whoa, whoa, whoa coming off the turns. It's a bumpy little track, and coming off the turns sometimes feels like you're in a Baja truck. You can feel the whole thing bouncing up and down. I know you can't really see it on the helmet camera, but it's a ride coming off a turn 2 sometimes at this track. It makes it a little unsteady, but that's okay. It's challenging and different, and I like it. This is a fun little track to drive at. All right, here we are, just getting into the first, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 laps of the race, settling in, keeping an eye on what's going on in front of me. Every time you see a couple of trucks starting to bounce off each other like that, you always kind of have to keep an eye on them. Can't drive off the hood pins at these little tracks. Things happen so fast, if you're looking down, you'll miss it. So you always got to keep your eye ahead. I'm looking at those couple of trucks ahead of me most of the time. I'm also working on catching up to the 5 here. Looks like I'm thinking about making a move. Trying not to put a bumper on him in the center of the turn and take him out. These tracks all have a spin-E rule. At least this one does, to my knowledge. If you cause the caution or are part of the caution, you both go to the back. You can tap the roof and let them know that you think it was your fault, and the other truck will get their spot back. But it's best to just avoid that whole deal in the first place. Got a caution out again here. Can't quite see what happened. I think there was a truck that had spun out of view of the camera there. So we're going back for a restart. This track has the choose cone rule. I prefer to start on the inside. This is really not a 2-groove track, and if we're not desperately fighting for a spot during a race, I think it's better to just start on the inside and play it a little bit safe. See, we're stuck here in traffic. I could have come up a little higher there. I'm giving the 25 too much room. Pinching myself off again. Oh, we got trucks beating and banging off each other up there. Keeping an eye on that. And there it goes. You can tell I let off early. I saw that coming from a mile away. I let off the throttle about halfway down the straightaway, just knowing something was going to happen, and I was right. So we dodged some trouble there. We're moving our way up. You can see we're in the top 10 here at this point in the race. We're running pretty good. This is definitely a good showing. There's about 20 trucks here tonight, so if we're running top 10 for us, that's a great progress. So here we go. Let off too soon there, but I do have a truck outside of me, so I'm keeping an eye on my surroundings inside and outside. Ooh, we made some contact right there. 5 came down a little bit. Probably did. So spoiler alert, me and the 5 are going to have a bit of trouble later in this race, and I did find out later that he didn't have a spotter. His radio quit working, and it was one of his first races on asphalt, so he said he was having just as frustrating a time as we were, so we're all good. We talked about it, no big deal. Just racing, nothing to get too upset about. So yeah, more on that you'll see coming in the later half of this video. Just watching the 5 and the 19 here beat and bang a little bit, trying to figure out how I want to play my move. Again, right there, pinching myself coming off the corner. I know Dad was on the radio telling me I was driving him nuts watching it, and I couldn't quite tell why during the race, but now that I'm watching it back, I definitely see it. Just kind of falling in line here, which for the middle part of the races at these tracks is kind of how you want it to be. You want to play it safe, you want to get to the end. Spoiler alert, I didn't get to the end of this one, but that's kind of where you want to be at the middle point of the race. You just want to get in line, try and make some passes. Oh, I thought about it there. Couldn't quite get the spot though. I do see a truck in my mirror, so I'm probably trying to keep a little bit of an eye on them. I'm not worried about it too much though. My spotter's good about telling me where people are around me, so I'm not too worried about that. Sticking my nose in low here, didn't have the spot. I'm trying to figure out how to get around the 5 here. It's a little bit tough. These little short tracks, it's hard to find a way to get a full spot on someone. Got loose coming off there, had to lift. Still pinching myself off, costing myself time. I don't know what happened there, but we got a bad push, slid up. Caution's out anyway, so we got a free pass on that one for that truck sitting sideways there. So we'll go back to the restart here. I'm still trying to figure out how to get around the 5 truck, and I think I spent too much time focusing on that rather than focusing on hitting my own marks. So I kind of end up screwing myself over a little bit. Might have got down in the grass a little bit there. We got the 25 outside of us. Trying to see how this plays out. Trying to hold off the 25. Clip the grass right there. That doesn't do you any good when you hit a bump like that. That just throws off the whole turn. And to let the 25 get in front of me. So, a little bit of my fault driving wise. I lost the spot. Didn't really do any harm, but we let another truck get in front of us. That's alright. We're learning here. We're figuring things out. I don't have a whole lot of experience in traffic in a truck at this track. Nope, we got an opportunity there to get inside the 25. Gave him too much room again, it looks like. Running tight here. We're still good, hanging with them. And we lost the spot. That's okay. Pinched the entry there a little bit. Still pinching myself coming off at turn 2. Watching to see how the 25 goes. I think I'm trying to figure out if I can steal the spot here. If I can follow the 25 and end up running with him. Trying to get around the 5. Sometimes if you can follow a truck in front of you as they pass someone, they'll kind of create the hold. And if you can theoretically throw a chain to their bumper and go with them, that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I see the 25's inside. I'm going to try and come in here with the 5, make the pass, stick my nose in, and there it is. We hit. I think I'm okay. I'm going to try and keep going. I got the spot. Try and turn left here. And the truck jolts right on me, and I assume something's horribly wrong, so I whoa it up before I get into the wall there. It was close, but I did not hit the wall. Here's where I'm probably yelling on the radio about how I think I got taken out. It was frustrating. You know, I thought I had the spot. We were running right, and this was the first time we were running top 10, and we broke. It is what it is. At least we were going fast enough to race competitively. Here's where we're trying to figure out what to do. Taking a look to see if the truck's going to be okay or not. I get it fired back up, and I can hear stuff dragging. The way it jolted right on me like that definitely made me nervous. I wanted to get back in and make sure nothing, was broken. I didn't feel comfortable full sending the truck again. I can hear things scraping on the ground here, so I knew something was wrong, and I, at this point, pretty much knew our race was over. So I'll let this go here for a minute while we go back into the pits and let you see kind of what happened after that little wreck there. Waiting for trucks to clear by. I'm probably steaming in the helmet at this point, honestly. I was just more so disappointed that we were finally running well and then ended up, getting into the cabbage there a little bit and broke some parts. But not the end of the world. You can hear something dragging there. At this point, I don't know what's broke. I just want to try and get back into the pits and get it figured out. In hindsight, I maybe could have stopped a little bit shorter here and taken a quick look at it and seen if we could have gone back out and get some spots, but the way it jolted right, I just didn't trust it at all. Something didn't feel right, so back to the pits we go, making the long drive. It's like a walk of shame here, driving through the pits with a broken truck in the middle of the race. You know everyone's looking at you trying to figure out what happened. We parked at the very end of the pits here, so here we go. I see my spot. Gonna pull back in. You can hear it dragging still. Shut it off. Gently set my gloves down. Not so gently set my gloves down. You can see everyone taking a look at it here, trying to figure out what's broken. I had no idea what was wrong at this point. I didn't know if it was just going to be a piece of suspension dragging on the ground. See my team here popping the hood off. I'm climbing out. I guess I didn't realize exactly how much body damage I had done. I climbed out right here, saw the whole fender was blown off of it and the bumper was dragging on the ground, and realized I maybe hit a little bit harder than I thought I did. You can see we're going to take the hood off here. High-tech phone flashlights looking through to see what's going on. The front bumper piece was dragging on the ground, and we think what happened was that front bumper bar somehow got underneath my wheel and ended up shooting it right. We think it just kind of jackknifed the wheel. It ended up actually not being broken. I maybe could have gone back out and tried to pick up a couple of spots, but when something's not right, it's safer just to park it, go through it, and see what's going on. I also did have a small leak in the radiator, so maybe that was going to cause us some trouble. Just is what it is, you know? We were racing hard, we hit, we broke, we were done. So yeah, we learned a lot. I learned a lot, definitely, from watching this. I'm glad we did this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to take these notes and try and apply it in the next race. Coming up in a week here, we got 4 straight weeks of racing coming up, so make sure you subscribe. Tons of action coming through. Let me know what you thought of this kind of video. If you want me to do more of these, I can definitely do that. I enjoy making videos like this, so yeah, let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because we got a lot of action coming up. So like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time.